Hello and welcome to Feck TV Irish Sports Show. Joining me today is my partner in crime, Christopher Murphy, and we have a special guest today, Conor O'Neill. Welcome, lads.
Thanks, George.
There's no other place to start in Irish sport other than the sad passing of Paddy O'Shea this week. No doubt everybody has heard this news. Kerry legend. It came as a big surprise to everyone.
Yeah, it's a big shock, right? Like he's a legend of the game, isn't he? Really, and he's one of the greatest of all time. 11, what is it? 5 All-Irelands, 5 All-Stars, 11 Munster titles. Like you can't take that away from the man, and it's very sad. Like.
Yeah, it was a shocking story. Really, come out of Kerry, and it's really rocked everyone in Ireland, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone in the country is aware of the man himself and how welcoming he was in his pub in Ventry to everyone that he dealt with, you know.
So that's it. We would just like to send, from everyone in Feck TV, like to send out our condolences to the O'Shea family, and our thoughts are with them at this sad time. Speaking of GAA at the minute, they're talking about changing the rules, Christopher.
Yeah, I'd say they could change it as much as they want. It's a terrible game. Like I wouldn't be a fan of it. Like
not like GAA.
Well, hurling's not too bad, but football, they're on about football most. They're like when you pick up the ball.
Yeah, but that's the change. They're sitting out at the minute trying to fix the rules to make it more attractive.
That's not for me, to be honest.
Why would you say that?
Well, I played it for years, obviously, but I think it's probably. They tell you from when you're young, you're sort of forced into playing it, you sort of get sick of it, and then you can't even look at it again anymore.
How about yourself, Conor?
I definitely agree with Chris there, and just from experience of being younger, if we went off playing soccer, you wouldn't be get picked for the GAA the following day then as well. They're always like that. It's all this clannish behaviour, and it's still there in GAA today. You can see it. I've seen it recently with young fellas who again went away playing soccer, and selectors not even looking at them the following day at a GAA game, you know. Yeah, it's the same with the rugby now. I play rugby, and a lot of to be 5 or 6 fellas, and you wouldn't see them till January, and the rugby season starts in October. The GAA, I think they're doing it on purpose, holding off games. So like usually used to be a summer sport, but there's matches being played St Patrick's Day now, and it's going the whole year, and I don't know, they're a bit selfish. Yeah.
Do you think they're doing that trying to stop people from playing on sports?
Definitely. And I've seen young fellas down through the years who would have been excellent at both codes, but only ended up playing one code because of the GAA, and it was always if they went back with the soccer, they had to make a decision for it, and that's kids from ages from 11 upwards, you know. So
the point I was trying to get across is that they're trying to make Gaelic football more attractive for people to watch. I think they're saying there's a lot of hand passing. We had Paddy Cassan in here recently. He said, you know, it's become like rugby or basketball because of just the hand pass rule, and there's not enough kicking in the game anymore. That's what they're trying to.
That's what Cork's game has been like for the last two to 3 years, anyways. Yeah, it's just been hand passing across, going across the middle of the field instead of going down the field, you know. And then again, like when Cork lose, it's not attractive to watch. But when Cork were doing all the winning, no one really cared about it. They didn't care how they won, whether they hand passed it or kicked it long, you know. So even if they made it a bit more like Aussie rules, that's exciting. It's like practically the same, but
it is like Aussie rules, but just a little more.
It's not as physical. Like if it was more physical and flake the fuck out of each other, and it'd be grand to be more enjoyable. Like
a lot of the GAA lads would go on like saying like they are very physical, but when they do play against the Aussie rules fellas, they seem to shit themselves a little bit.
They're like rugby players, the Aussie rules players, like, and they make shit of them.
Because the last time, like there is like the top GAA lads are dropping out when they do play the Aussie boys now,
in case they get injured or anything.
So we would like some of the GAA lads to come on and say, are you being a big bunch of pussies against the Aussie lads? You're more than welcome to come on our show and explain what's going on.
That's true. It would definitely add some excitement to it. The way the Aussie rules played it, you know. You need those hard challenges, and that's more entertaining for it. Then. And like even if you watch an Aussie rules game, it's always sort of long range kicks, and there's like fellas catching balls out of the sky, jumping fierce high up, and it's exciting to watch, to be honest.
Another thing that's really got up my nose this week is the news that Anthony Pilkington, the Norwich centre forward, has declared for Ireland because he said he's definitely Irish because his grandmother's from Dublin. This is something that I've seen down through the years in football, and I find it very frustrating that English lads come over and get international caps freely because ahead of Irish lads really in general. It's something you must see this, Christopher. You see Tony Cascarino years ago, not even Irish, and he's playing. Irish, and he's made a brilliant career, probably coming from his international career.
Yeah, but I suppose, like if he wanted to play, he'd declare himself already. What's he holding off for Pilkington? Do you know?
Well, I had this with Alex Bruce at Ipswich. Alex declared for the Republic of Ireland, played 2 friendlies, and then got sick of playing for the Republic because he knew he wouldn't get picked anymore. And then he moved to Northern Ireland, so now he's being a Northern Ireland international. It's just making a farce of it, isn't it?
If you ask me about it, George, basically I just think the whole idea with these guys, the likes of Alex Bruce that time, is that they just want to further their club career and trying to get transfer, make money out of the situation. just to say they are playing international football. I don't think they're going to wear the Irish badge on their sleeve, you know.
That's my point, Conor. I feel you should play for the country that you grew up supporting, wanting to play. You know, a lot of the English lads grew up wanting to play for England, and that's your country, then that should be England. You know, I don't see why they had the big change and come to Ireland, like you say, and try to get in. It kills
me, George, when even at down through the years again, and when you see that the camera goes along the line of players and the national anthem's been played and the lips aren't moving, you know, that hits me. Like there's kids out there who'd love to put on the Irish jersey and love to sing that national anthem, but they just don't do it here, you know.
But that's what happens. I'd rather see 11 League of Ireland players play for Ireland than rather see that some of them English lads come in and take the place, because you know, there's no passion in it, is there?
It's not. Like, it should be from where you were born, really, shouldn't it?
They think they can go sing the Wild Rover after the match, a couple of drinks, and
Andy Reid with his guitar.
We're not allowed to talk about Andy Reid and his guitar at the minute. Another Irish international who's in trouble at the minute is Anthony Stokes. Celtic have been very frustrated with his performances in training and his life in general. Great player, Conor, but seems to be a few problems there at the minute, doesn't there?
Yeah, and just one thing that comes with the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, as regarding Anthony Stokes. You know, he's always making.
This is in your opinion now, Conor.
My opinion.
Not my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. You know, he just gives off that impression that there's going to be trouble with him anyway. You know, but Neil Lennon's not happy with it at the moment, and I think he's banked to rights now. He's kind of getting fed up of him, you know. But that's Stokes again, like.
What do you think, Chris?
No comment.
Why not?
I'd like to live past Christmas.
Why? What's the stories you hear?
I've heard just a few in the paper. There's a few stories.
Like what?
I'd want to mention them, to be honest.
Come on, Chris, you got to mention it.
No, just he's associating himself with the IRA and stuff. And
do you think that's affecting?
Like, he's sort of publicly associated himself with them, you know. And like, if he wants to do it like behind closed doors or whatever, that's up to him. But he shouldn't be really on the paper and photographs of them and stuff.
I suppose it's difficult when you're playing for a team in the UK and that situation, but everyone to their own. And
Celtic is a massive club, you know. There has to be some lines drawn for where your behaviour is done, you know. But Stokes,
do you think his lifestyle off the pitch, is it drinking or whatever, or do you think?
I don't know.
Where's it all coming from?
Like we know what kind of a talent he is when he puts his head to it, you know. But
he's a good
I just think Celtic are fed up of it now. It's been going on for a couple of years. There's always been something in either front page or back page, and I think Neil Lennon is just sick of it now at this stage, you know.
But even when he was playing well with Celtic, when he was getting a lot of goals, he wasn't in the Irish setup much either, was he?
No, there always seems to be a little problem. When I remember he was with Sunderland with Roy Keane, and Roy Keane kind of moved him on quickly as well. But
he'd have fallen out with Roy Keane. Yeah, I heard that.
There's no doubt he is a very good player, and I do hope personally that he does get back in form for Celtic, because I suppose the worst thing is when you're out of a team and you're not scoring goals, or when you're out of a team and you're not scoring goals, and the team are winning when you're not there.
He'd be probably.
You know, you're not really missing it.
I just going on about agreeing with Celtic as well. You're saying Anthony Stokes. Stokes wouldn't get into any Premier League team for me if you asked, you know, in my opinion. And I just think this thing with Celtic, because they beat Barcelona now, that their worth has gone up a bit. They've gone through to the 8, but they were just lucky to barely get through in the end with the 10 points to the last 16 of the Champions League, you know. But Celtic need to get out of that league, you know.
Do you think they're lucky to be a club like Celtic, because it's such a big profile? You don't have to be as good as the players down the Premiership, and he doesn't know how lucky he is. I read that today with John Hackney.
That's exactly my point, George, that as you're saying, like, Stokes built up now to be a great player, and then again, give him a couple of weeks in the Premiership, I wonder how long he'd last, you know.
Talking about people with problems, Christopher predicted that the Irish teams would have a great week this week in the Heineken Cup. Or last weekend, and they all lost. Christopher, congratulations.
Well, I got one
that was a great tipping.
I said Connacht would lose.
You said Connacht would lose, it wasn't a
I was right,
one.
Yeah. That was my phony moment.
What about Leinster, or seem to be in a difficult position?
They're 8 points behind now, and it's looking dodgy from qualifying. Like, I think they can finish up as a best runner-up, but they're only on 10 points or something, so I can't see them qualifying.
You gave a good reason earlier, Conor, why do you think Leinster struggled in the Heineken Cup at home?
Leinster, yeah, I definitely think they should have stayed at the RDS. I know it's all about money at the end of the day, and that's why they knew the Aviva was going to be full. And but I think they would have tested Claremont a lot better if they had played at the RDS, and I think it was a bad mistake to leave their home ground just for the sake of money again. It's the big buck again comes in.
It's all the money, yeah.
Even though they had a great support there, but I think Claremont thrived on playing at our national stadium, you know.
It does happen. You know, clubs love going to big stadiums, nice pitches.
Especially a big club like Claremont. They're like a huge French club, like, and they have a lot of money, and they've not.
Do you agree with Conor? Do you think?
I do. I think they should have kept it. Like, you wouldn't like to see Munster playing anywhere else rather than Thomond Park.
But if you're a player, you want to play there rather than the RDS, don't you? You know, if they go to where would you rather play today, the RDS?
Yeah, I suppose it's the fact that it is the Aviva and it's so big. But
I disagree with that, George. Like from a player, in the sense that you have your routine at home. You like playing at home. You probably have your routine on match day, getting to the RDS, getting out there. You know what I mean? You're well used to that playing at home. The other day was, to me, I would say it's like going into an away match because you're on new ground, even though you're the home team. Down to the Aviva, they're not used to going to the Aviva internationally, maybe, but going in as the home team in the Aviva, it's a different setup.
They're doing that with all their big games now, like in the latter stages of the competition. They're always playing in the Aviva, but they seem to be doing well in the last 2 years, but it wasn't meant to be, I suppose, Saturday. And
just quickly on Munster.
Yeah, Munster, they were unlucky, but I can see them getting out of the group. They're playing Exeter now, and I think it's the 11th of January, and hopefully they'll...
Gara missed 2 big kicks, really, didn't he?
Oh yeah, 2 big.
When they had a man Simbin, then he missed a kick, didn't he? And he dropped the goal. I think they had about 29 phrases. They were trying to get the defending from the.
Yeah, but they were unlucky, but Saracens are a great team at home. Like,
is very strong.
Yeah, and they're like they have a top class English internationals in the team,
and just quickly, Ulster kind of came back down to earth with a.
Yeah, they were going.
Loss at home.
14 wins in a row. And so I suppose that had to come to an end. But I said they're a good tip for the cup. I think.
Think Ulster?
Yeah, because like they got to the final last year now, and they were unlucky. They were they were magnificent last year. But I can see them. They'd be a very good bet. And
your prediction that Connacht would lose came out.
Right, that's it.
But Connacht, have they any hope of getting out of that group, or have
not really?
No. I suppose they're just happy to build and be in
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Like, they're coming on leaps and bounds. Like, and Dan Park seems to be got a new sort of lease of life since he joined them, because he was shocking when he was over in Scotland. But he's good now, and I heard he's meant to be opening a pub or something now.
Great stuff. You know that you'll be in there.
I'll be with you. You can drive me in.
And looking at the horse racing this week is something we don't cover much, but Ruby Walsh had a fantastic weekend. He had 3 winners at Cheltenham on Saturday, and he had 4 winners again yesterday. We're going to our top tipster here, Conor, who knows all about the horse racing. What did you think of that, Conor?
I just think going on Saturday, we'll take Saturday first, is that Ruby, like, he's hot and cold. That for most punters, that would be the day you wouldn't expect him to win, you know, on the winners he had on Saturday. Like,
do you like Ruby as a jockey?
I do, but it's some days he could drive you crazy the way he switches off horses. Like, if you take a 3-mile chase, he'll travel 2 miles 6 with the horse switched off at the back, and he thinks he can make it to the end, and he'll probably just lose by a neck or a nose. He can misjudge a lot of rides, you know, but then he's remembered for things like this. But as I said, some of us could probably ride some of those horses home, because it is the top trainer. If you look at it, it's the top trainer. He won on Saturday for Paul Nicholls,
yeah. And
then yesterday he had a 4-timer in Navan for the top trainer, Willie Mullins, you know. Those horses, you could ride them blindly, you know.
Him and McCoy seem to always get the best horses, don't they?
They do. They're like.
Is it because they are the best jockeys, without a doubt?
They're regarded the best jockeys for what they can do, you know, because they're constantly doing it. And McCoy, as we say, 16-time champion, like, and you see Richard Johnson, who is a very good jockey. Do
you think they
who's
fix
never
races?
won it, you know? I do.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, I believe that there has to be something going on there, because you see whatever about National Hunt, but in sprint races and things like that.
I know you love Aidan O'Brien, the trainer.
That's what I'm saying. If they're he fixes races himself. He has 4 runners in any race, and he's got 4 jockeys, so he's 4 chances of winning any one race. That is not fair on the opposition, I think, you know.
I was listening at the races and the flat racing a few weeks ago, and they were saying you have to lose to win. They were saying that's so
definitely, and my best point to that is, for any punter backing odds-on favourites, I would definitely stay away from him, because there was Ted Walsh had a horse out yesterday with his daughter on board, and he was 8-11 favourite, finished second to Mullins, and it was the second favourite that won. But like, if that 8-11 was to win that race, his next race would probably be 2-7. There's no value in that.
So you think they're pulling him?
You're definitely losing to win, because it is the market. Like, you'd see a lot of horses there beating favourites last time out. They could have went off 4-6. They'll come out next time beating favourite, come out at 5-2, 3-1, you know. So there has to be some bit of money made in it, you know.
There seems to be problems underlaid in the horse racing all the time, Christopher. You see a couple of jockeys that have got done recently for drug tests, like Frankie Dettori, you know, Kieran Fallon in his day has been caught as well. Do you think, in your opinion, would you think kind of that stuff goes on all the time, more than it would if it was, say, in rugby or GA or?
Well, I suppose it obviously goes on. I think it's in some level or another, it goes on in every sport, I think. But I don't get the fact why jockeys take it. You know, like, doesn't make any sense really, does it? Like,
yeah. What's your opinion, Matt?
My opinion, definitely, it's like there's been few cases over the last couple of years, but unproven. They can't get the proof is the thing. Like, but there has been a few trainers and jockeys warned off in England because of race fixing, and I think Betfair is the biggest blame for that. Like, and I just can't understand any punter who'd want to watch a race and want the horse to lose, that he's laying the horse, like, that he's saying, come on horse, lose, don't win. You know, it just takes the whole sport out of sport, really, if you're laying horses, you know.
Great stuff. Thanks, Conor. Just before we end the show today, we have a couple of emails. Chris was going to read out.
Yeah, there's an email here from Maggie. She wants to know where Ian Turner's gone.
It's funny enough, we contacted Ian yesterday through Feck TV, and Ian said he's not allowed to comment at the minute. So we'll try to get back on that again next week. I think there's a problem with the Cork City players coming on, so hopefully that can be resolved in the future. I have an email from Mike Birmingham in Donegal. He asked, is Conor Eddie Hobbs' brother? Are you? You're not.
It's not I wish I had his money, but it's not the first time it's been asked of me, no.
And we also had an email from Brian Carl in Cork saying, have we any more big interviews coming up? And the answer to that is yes, we have Kevin Doyle coming up as a Christmas special. So that's where the show is going to end tonight. I'd like to thank my guests, Conor and Christopher.
Thanks, George.
Thank you for tuning in to Feck TV, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.